And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as I do every day. How are you doing? I'm with my partner in crime, Mr. Chris Edwards. It's TrendWatch Thursday.
Yes, good morning. We have a lot trending today, too.
I missed you yesterday.
Yeah. Well, we won't get into that.
So forgive me for
things
missing
happen.
you guys yesterday. My plane was delayed. I thought I was going to get on here, and it didn't work out. The scheduling got mixed up. So nothing like a plane delay to change things around. So, and I finally got here, but safe.
It's called
And
life.
the flight was excellent. It was great. I'm here in Charlotte. And let me just turn this. There we go. Let me put that around.
Do you have music playing in the background?
No.
Why do I hear? Oh, no, you know, it's probably me. Hold on.
I can sing, though.
I think it was me. Sorry. I forgot I wasn't here working earlier and I had stuff playing in the background.
So I'm here. I was here I was killing two birds with one stone. So I was here in North Carolina to spend time with my friends, obviously Nia and Mimbo, before I leave to go to Africa because it's getting closer. Can you believe I'll be leaving in less than a month?
Yeah.
Really in 3 weeks. 3 weeks I will be getting on a plane. So one of my friends
He's
sent me.
leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when he'll be back again.
And I am just like, okay, this is really happening. And so one of my friends sent me, let me see if I can get that on the screen. Hold on a second, because this is so worth showing you guys. And let me go my portfolio, profile. And, I never get used to Instagram on the desktop. Instagram on the desktop. Where's my smartphone?
It's a challenge.
It is. I don't even know where I put my smartphone. And but let me see if I can get that here. Let me see if I can do the same thing I can do on let me see here. No, I have to do it through my smartphone. Can't do it on desktop yet. Okay, so we'll do that. But anyway, while I'm getting ready to get that all set up. So so that happened. So yesterday, people around here are starting to freak out because they say when there's just a little bit of rain, if the rain is too heavy, or if there's just a little bit of ice, everything shuts down. Like the power lines go down, all that stuff. And I kept saying, Charlotte is a city. I mean, they could invest in some underground power infrastructure, but it's not important to them. It costs too much to do.
Well, I mean, to switch it over would be so expensive. And then you have to remember, though, too, a lot of these communities are built on past history of weather data. They're not used to this stuff. So why invest in relocating all your power lines for like once in a century type of events, even though they're having more than once in a century?
They have more than once. So, and then I said, wait a minute, I can get my project accomplished. And then we decided not to do it. Then we just wanted to hang out and just have a good time. So, I was just talking to them this morning because we were going to set up all the artwork. I'm here to photograph some artwork. And we're gonna get it all set up, everything out and get it all set up nicely. And so I was gonna photograph for today and tomorrow and then head back to New York on Saturday morning. I was originally staying here till Wednesday, but then when I weighed all the odds and weighed everything, I said, it really doesn't make sense. And also because Nia's mom, I was like, well, she needs to come and stay here as well. So I'm in the space that she's usually in. So, when she comes to visit. So I said, you know what? This makes better sense to just head back to New York. Plus, Adrian gave me some great suggestions, and because I love being in snowstorms.
And you're gonna get a lot.
And I wanted to be able to photograph on the golf course. I'm gonna go back to the golf course. Maybe I'll drag Adrian with me this time. And
good luck with that.
like, hell no.
I'm sure he'll comment because I see him in the room.
He's in the comment box. So but yeah, so I was like, okay, let me do that. And I checked the flights, and the flights were literally, my plane is almost empty. So obviously I'm always getting the first flight out. So the first flight popped up on the screen, 7:00 in the morning. I'm on the plane. I'm back to New York, and it
Yeah.
makes sense. And so yeah,
Get to where
my stay is shorter, but that means we're gonna really have a good time. And we went out last night to my favorite place. All those wonderful folks at Cajun Queen
See,
here.
listen, hold on. I'm gonna stop you because this is why you
Yes.
have that issue. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know, you always come back and say, "Oh no, I have to stop. I have to stop," and then you go back down there and you fall right back into the same trap.
But I went to the grocery store. We went grocery store yesterday. Went to Walmart. As soon as I got off the plane, we went to get something to eat. Then after I got something to eat, then we went to Walmart, which I don't really go to Walmart, but they went to Walmart. That's where they shop. And I ended up buying, getting some stuff in case I was going to be here for the whole week. And but I got lots of veggies, veggie wraps, my box, like the little tins of spinach, mixed spinach,
Okay.
all the different greens.
Big
And
screens.
so I said I'm eating very healthy while I'm here. Yes, I got my.
I see going out to a restaurant in your future before you leave.
We went out last night to the restaurant, so I don't think
I think you'll make it out again. It's only Thursday.
Cajun Queen is what I come down here for. I mean, it is the best Louisiana food outside of Louisiana. That's also better than the food in Louisiana. It's like,
Okay.
holy moly, it's incredible. So we went out last night. We had a great time. And then I have a time limit. I'm trying to eat my foods before 8:00. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's 8:15. We did it. We finished the meal. We were out of there. So
Okay.
anyways, there's some folks in the building, aren't there?
Yeah, let's say some good mornings.
Let's say some good mornings. And first person in the building is Omar. He says, hello, everybody. Let's get ready for Ice Storm 2026. Yes.
So Ice Storm for it's certain regions like Texas, Tennessee,
Arkansas, Oklahoma.
They're talking about like an inch of ice, and an inch of ice equates to thousands of pounds on structures and on trees.
Yes.
So they're going to have a lot of trees down, maybe a lot of roof collapses. So this is actually kind of dangerous, especially for those people that are in those southern regions. So please be cautious and be careful.
Yeah, they were telling me, I have my what I call the geeks on that I follow on YouTube. So, for those that don't know, I was a weather geek growing up. When I was in aviation high school, I studied just a little bit of meteorology. And so I became a weather geek. We used to call ourselves the weather vanes. Weather vane.
Okay.
Anyway, now you have the geeks who have actually made YouTube channels. So I was watching because the geeks have better forecasts than the news people.
Yeah. There's two that I follow. I don't remember the names of them, and I don't want put out the wrong information, but they started forecasting this maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, saying that we're looking for a potential historic storm across like half the country. And as every day kept coming by, like they were like, it's right. And so now regular general, like local news has actually been reporting on it since about yesterday or the day before it. But I'm like, these guys had it pegged about 2 weeks ago. And the model keeps changing because it can shift either up or down. And depending on that will depend on how much snow we get in the Northeast. Because originally they were talking about 1 to 2 feet. The other day it was like 9 to like 13 inches. I think they're kind of settling on 12 inches. But as the days progress and you get closer, they can more accurately predict. So I'm looking at maybe we might get about a foot here when it's all said and done.
Well, it's interesting because I was telling Adrian and I, we were talking. Every forecast this year has been off. They say it's going to be a dusting, there's going to be nothing, and the next thing you know, we get 4 inches, 5 inches.
What are you listening to?
No, the ABC News. So my boys.
Oh, see, I don't listen to the local news for the weather. I started listening to those guys I follow online because they've been getting it right. Because I remember at the end of summer, they said we are going to have a really bad winter. We're going to have lots of snowfall and a lot of snow accumulation, and they have been right so far. This will be, I think, our 4th snowstorm this year. Well, not this year, but like this winter season already. So I'm believing them, and they're getting it right on this one. This is going to be a big one.
This is going to be a big one. So guess what? Since I love the weather geeks, you know what? I'm going to share them.
You're going to
I'm
pull them
going
up?
to share my source of where I get my weather from, because the news people always get it wrong, and these guys always get it right. But this is one of my favorite news weather geeks that I follow on in YouTube's, and so I'm going to share it with you guys, because this is a serious storm.
Yeah, no, it is.
It is going to be very dangerous. I did not know that they had ice storms before here in North Carolina years ago. Like, this is like, I think they say 2 decades ago. People died. People die in ice storms. So
yeah, it's dangerous.
So it's time to take these things serious. So here we go. Check this out. And these are my folks on the geeks that I like to follow. And let's play it.
7. Oklahoma City will likely also be right around
the
5.
I'm gonna go all the way to the front. Oh, there we go.
Snow and significant freezing rain persisting for multiple days from Texas to the East Coast. However, over the last 24 hours, this storm has taken a dramatic turn. Model guidance has shifted noticeably farther north, which has major implications for where the worst ice accumulations and potentially days of power outages could occur, as well as what parts of the country may instead see historic snow. On top of that, some of the coldest weather that we've seen in years is on the way. Temperatures can drop to as low as 30 degrees below zero Friday and Saturday, with wind chills plunging to 60 degrees below zero. This brutal cold will eventually spread into the southern United States, prolonging impacts and worsening conditions as the storm unfolds. So in today's forecast, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to know about this historic winter storm that is about to hit the United States. Now, we have a lot to talk about in today's forecast, and I want to jump right into what we're expecting with this winter storm and what has changed over the last 24 hours. And I want to begin with our future radar. We're going to start out with Friday, late morning and early afternoon, as that is when the winter storm impacts will begin. So right around the late morning, we will start to see some freezing rain across the Texas Panhandle and western Oklahoma. This will be pretty minimal in general. It's going to be very light, but it's going to be enough to really glaze over the roads and make travel impacts really significant pretty early in the day. As we go into Friday afternoon, our cold rain will continue across most of Texas and southern Oklahoma. Notice how there's really no pinks down here. So if you're in DFW, if you're in Abilene, we are leaning towards it being a cold rain for most of Friday. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of freezing rain down that direction. And that's really one of the biggest changes with our forecast, is that all of our wintry precipitation to begin Friday is expected to be further to the north. And that includes even areas down the line towards the Ohio Valley and the southeast as we go into Saturday. And we'll talk more about that here in a moment. As we go later into Friday afternoon and right around rush hour, that is when freezing rain and sleet are going to intensify quickly near Oklahoma City, Tulsa, back into the Texas Panhandle just outside of Lubbock. Light to moderate snow will ramp up across parts of Kansas and even back over towards Colorado and even New Mexico. We have winter storm watches and warnings in effect, and that is another area that snow and freezing rain is on the table. Things are going to intensify very quickly during the late evening on Friday and into Saturday. Located near DFW, back towards Memphis. Likely evolve there on Saturday. And then during the overnight hours Saturday into Sunday morning, notice how much heavy freezing rain we are going to have. We will have heavy freezing rain in those purples that is going to stretch across Dallas-Fort Worth, across parts of Little Rock, back towards Memphis, and show a large warm sector in this area, which means we might not end up seeing a whole lot of ice, if any, back over in the Atlanta area and even back over in Huntsville. It's still very 50-50 though. England as well. If we had a Patriots game over in Foxborough this weekend instead of Denver, it would be an storm. If you're anywhere in the dark red, that is where we're at least expecting an inch of snowfall. That is an over 90% chance of seeing at least 1 inch of snow. Anywhere further south towards Dallas, Fort Worth, southern Arkansas, and even towards Nashville, the probabilities are rapidly dropping. We're down to around St. Louis, probably right around 5 to 7. Oklahoma City will likely also be right around the 5 to 9 range. I would at least expect 5 inches in that area. Over in North Texas, right in this area here, I think Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Northern Virginia, and Southern Ohio, those spots will likely have a widespread 10 to 15 inches of snow. Some localized areas, especially in the Appalachian Mountains, could easily be over 18 inches of snow when this is all said and done. And I'm also not going to rule out somewhere in this corridor here being somewhere near 20 to 24 inches of snow. It's not out of the question. I think it's definitely something that could happen with how slowly this winter storm is going to be moving. It's just hard to pinpoint exactly where that sort of number would actually fold. Now, back Back over in the Southern Plains, we're expecting a major ice storm.
So there you have it. I mean, that they they're really good at giving the weather for it. This guy and his team are excellent. Also, Gwendolyn did mention I also follow Ryan as well. And Ryan Hall, I think there it is, Ryan Hall. Let me get back there. Where is it? Where's that? At least Gwendolyn posted his name information. So, but it is excellent. Those are great. Oh, here it is. That's what Gwendolyn put there. Ryan Hall also. And those are my two weather geeks that I love their weather forecast. And they are usually right. And they stay on it day to day to day, hour by hour, because they're geeks. So that's all they do. And they get paid to do it. And people do support their YouTube channel. So check out those two platforms. If you want to get real weather, these are the places you want to go.
Yeah, Ryan Hall is the one I follow.
Ryan Hall, Ryan Hall.
Right? No, he's excellent. He does updates, I think, twice a day, and he does live streams of a lot of the stuff. He's really good.
Check out that. I'll have the links into the description after the show. But these weather forecasts are excellent, and so there are some forecasts that New York's, I should say, Teaneck, where I'll be staying, is going to get about 12 inches of snow. So it's going to be an exciting weekend for some photography, y'all. And that means if you're in these snow belts, remember we did our Tip Tuesday just passed on snow, taking photos in the snow. So you are well equipped for photography in the snow.
I might get out and actually take some myself. I haven't done that in
Get out
years.
there, Chris. What do you mean you haven't been out there? The snow. I mean, you're going to get a foot of snow. You're going to get, this is technically what's supposed to be a mid-Atlantic snowstorm.
Yeah.
But now it's moving north. So I'm excited. I'm like a
kid in a candy store.
I'm a kid in a candy store. I love some good snow. And it was so funny because when I was away in Puerto Rico, no, not Puerto Rico. Where was I? I traveled somewhere. I was somewhere a couple of weeks ago. Oh, you know where it was? I was in the Bronxville.
Okay. Puerto Rico, Bronxville.
I said to my buddy Bernard, I said, Bernard, I need more snow before I go to Africa. I gotta have more snow. I gotta photograph more snow.
You got your wish now.
Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you. My prayers are being answered. Yes. I know some of you folks don't like snow. Anyway, can I go back to say hello to some folks?
Yes. Who is second in the room?
We only got to number one. Lisa is number two in the room. She gets to go this silver this morning. And Chris R gets the bronze. Nice. And then we got the wonderful Adrian saying, peace, y'all. Peace. And then we got the wonderful Bryson. And Bryson, you got some good news for us, I'm sure. Here we go.
Yes.
What's up, Chris? What's up, everybody?
Trending topics.
I'm in Montego Bay, and Oscar nominations were dropped, and Sinners is leading with 16 nominations, the most in Oscar history.
Yep, and they got nominated for basically almost all the categories. Best actor, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, sound, right? Original score,
originally movie score,
original script. Best picture, best director. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Tiana Taylor got nominated for her first Oscar ever, and it's looking like she could be the front runner in this since she just finished winning the Golden Globe. Representation matters, and it's showing up in the Oscars this year. And the one thing that's a little bit different is that all of the Oscar voters have to watch all of the movies before they vote this year.
And I have to say, I'm so happy that Sinners is getting the acknowledgement this year.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And then not even on top of that, I don't know if it actually happened yet, but it's being re-released in the movie theater. So it's going to be in the forefront of everyone's mind. People get a chance to see it again. It's out on streaming, but they're putting it back out in the theaters for people to get that full cinematic experience. Such a great movie. And as we said, an original movie. It's so hard to find original movies nowadays. You got all these sequels and remakes of movies. To see someone come out with an original concept from start to finish, it's amazing.
I love it. And I thought about Bryson this morning. I said, oh,
Yeah.
Bryson's gonna have something to say about the Sinners and the Oscars. So the Oscars is coming up in several weeks. It's usually around the 23rd, right?
So the Oscars this year is March 15th.
Oh, it's in March this year.
Yeah, March 15th.
Oh, okay. And so I'll be somewhere else. I'll be watching it from another continent, hopefully, if all works well. So but yeah, and I'm excited. Okay, let's see what else is in the building. What else is happening? I'm ignoring Adrian's statement. Good morning, Mimi. She says, good morning, Ron, Chris, and RLB family. I see some love, some hearts there. And she says, facts, Ron. Same across the South. Tennessee, same. They need to invest in infrastructure. But that's what happens when you vote red. When you vote red, when you vote for the Republicans, they do not care about your infrastructure. Just saying. Sorry to go politic, but it is TrendWatch Thursday. This is what we do here. And Jeremy Duncan is in the building. He says, morning. What's up, Jeremy?
Good morning.
In the building. Make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're your first time here. And Lisa said, I am so worried about my mom. It is something to worry about. That's why that was the other part of this. Like I said, so it would be great to have Nia's mom be here and not be alone in her home. So we just shifted things around. That's what we do. That's what we do as family and friends. That's what we do. And Adrian says, not bloody likely that he will join me in the snow. No, he should come out. Y'all, right? He should come out with me to do some photography. He can learn some photography out in the snow. We can do this, Adrian.
Look at Bryson.
Head on out.
Bryson.
And
I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Here's the thing. Those two movies are excellent movies. Ronald and I watched One Battle After Another. That's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tiana Taylor.
That's the one I wanted to see.
Yes, yeah, it's 3 hours long, but it's so good. I understand why she won for Best Supporting Actress in that movie. I'm not going to give anything away, but well deserved.
You see these two? You see Adrian and Lisa? They're problems. You see that? She said, Adrian, I was thinking the same thing. Like, why does he have to say smartphone?
Because there's a difference.
Because there is a difference. Some of you guys have dumb phones.
And the dumb phones typically are like the old-time flip phones. That don't really have modern apps. And that's what they call, smartphones are what you consider a touchscreen with modern apps on it.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. You know.
There's a difference. There is a difference.
There is a difference. Okay. Next, since the peanut gallery was out there today, Bryson says, Omar, they're giving to one battle after another. Really? You think so? You think one battle after another is going to get?
It could. Listen, I think honestly, it's between those two. It really is.
Best film of the year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You think one battle after another could get best film of the year?
Yeah. Think about it. A few of the actors won Golden Globes for their performances in that, and it's got a pretty good cast. And then the young woman who plays Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter, this is her first major role acting, and she's so good in it. It's a really good movie. And it's not what I thought it was, but just by looking at the previews, I was like, I don't know what I thought this movie was, but it's really good.
Okay, I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it this week. Hint, hint. Adrian, do you want to go see that movie?
Well, I mean, I believe it's on HBO Max.
Oh, is it on HBO?
Yeah. It's on streaming. Let me see.
It's on streaming. Then I definitely will see it. Okay, I'll see it when I get back to the house. Awesome. Kimmy Kim is in the building. She says, good morning. Elise is in the building. She says, good morning, everyone. So good to see Elise. And Mimi says, this is major. Prepare, y'all. Prepare for the storm. Prepare for the storm. Jazzy's in the building. She says, good morning.
It's on HBO Max.
Okay, so I'm
And
gonna
so
look
is
at
Sinners for those that haven't seen it yet.
So I'll be watching both. Oh, all right. I love Sinners. I've seen Sinners several times already, and I saw it on IMAX. Oh, look who else is in the building today, David Muscaro. Good morning, all.
Welcome.
62
Good
and blue
morning.
skies. Eat your heart out, East Coast.
Where is he at? In Mexico?
David, where are you? Where are you with the? I think he's in Florida. David, are you in Florida?
Okay.
Where are you, David?
And 62 for Florida's kind of cool.
Well, 62. Well, you know, it did snow on the Panhandle Monday.
Yeah.
They got snow. So it's snowing everywhere in America.
Iguanas were falling out of the trees.
Yeah, that's right. They're falling out of the trees and playing dead like possums. Then Mimi says, "Yes, Chris, they have done it all." Okay, they're going there, Chris. And Kim doesn't like snow. She says, "Yuck." Wait a minute. You're in Philadelphia. I know. People that live in the city don't like snow after 2 days because it gets dirty and looks ugly.
I don't like a dirty snow.
Yeah, but you know what? I have to tell you, now that I'm a suburbanite hanging out with Adrian, the snow stays white for a long time.
It's different in the suburbs.
The snow is still white from last weekend, from the other weekends. It's like the snow stays white.
Yeah, and it melts away on the roadways. So
yeah, so I'm loving it. She said, "That's our problem, Ron." And Adrian said, "Even the Weather Channel got them wrong, at least in this area." I'm telling you, the best ones to go to is the geeks. The geeks, they're in it, and they be saying things that the others don't say. They said it's going to be 50 degrees today through though here in New York City, so enjoy it. Yes, the calm before the storm.
It's 46 here right now.
Well, they said before went to even start that we were going to have a lot of snow in New York City this year. They did say the Farmer's Almanac was right as always.
Yeah,
there's that wonderful Gwendolyn. She says, "Good day." And let's see here, going through here, waiting. Why did the black guy throw those? Oh, what is this? Wait, what's this? What Lisa's talking about? Does anyone know this story? I don't know the story. Wait, why did the black guy throw those ladies out the airplane? What's that about?
I don't know.
I don't know that story. You gotta send us a link or something. I don't know anything about that story. Lisa, because somebody else is saying, "Yeah, Lisa, what about that?" So I see Jazzy says, "Lisa, I wanted to see the rest of that. Someone please school us. What happened?" If you can type it all in the comment box. Kimmy Kim says, "Yeah, he need to replay that clip." It was certainly interesting. Okay, G says there's an app called WeatherWise, which was developed by the weather geeks. I love it. Get tons of alerts. Oh, I need my phone. I need my phone. WeatherWise. Thank you, Gwendolyn. See, Gwendolyn's also a geek. So we always geeking out over stuff. So that's a good thing. I see you guys laughing. Kimmy says, people traveling in the U.S. going to have troubles this weekend. It's going to be bad. I got the first flight out on Saturday, so I should be good. The cold next week is going to be very bad. Yes, if you have not, you thought it was cold the last couple of weeks, it's about to get doggone cold. Asia says Dark Sky was the best app till they sold.
Yes.
What's Dark Sky? I never had
Dark Sky. Dark Sky was an app that you could get on Apple and Android. It had the best weather forecasting and it had the best graphics, and it was the most popular weather app in the app stores.
Really?
And then
Dark
they
Sky.
were bought. Yeah.
They were on Samsung. Android.
No, so they were originally, and if I remember correctly, Apple bought the app and integrated into iOS. I think that's what had happened. They kept it available for about a year or so, and then with the subsequent release of an iOS update, this was years ago though, they integrated. So the app the weather app that you see on iOS right now came from Dark Sky.
Interesting. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to definitely download WeatherWise. Thank you, Gwendolyn. WeatherWise. Make sure we put that on that. I want that app. But it says I'll be looking for my window and not stepping. Omar, don't you have to shovel? Some people don't like snow. I know there's some people that don't like snow. Elise says, I don't need any snow. Speaking of people that don't like snow, I love snow. Mimi says, I would rather have snow than ice. Absolutely. When they were telling, I mean, people were in the, and you know what's interesting though? We were in Walmart yesterday and there wasn't a lot of people going crazy. So I was like, okay, maybe,
Okay, so I just want to make so I was correct. Dark Sky was acquired by Apple in March of 2020, and then they integrated into the iOS, and then subsequently, it shut down the app for Android and iOS users as a standalone app in 2022. So they kept it active for 2 years until they integrated it into the iOS ecosystem.
Ah, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
look who else is in the building today. Rashawn Vincent is in the building.
Hey, what's up,
Good morning.
Rashawn?
We haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
She works so hard. And she also helps to keep this community on the air because she's one of the prime Patreon members. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rashawn.
Good morning.
Love you. Good morning. And she says, good morning, Touch Base Daily family. And wait. He just says, wait till you get back.
I see shovels in your future.
It's interesting because it was snow the other day, and I said, oh, I should help them shovel, but then I was like, maybe not.
Listen, all I'm going to say is bend at the knees. Bend at your knees.
Bend at the knees. And I got bad knees.
Adrian, we need. Hold on. Adrian, we need photographic proof of this.
Oh, you know
of
what?
Ron shoveling.
I wouldn't mind helping shovel. I would not mind helping to shovel. Gwendolyn says, dumb phones are also Blackberries. Now, remember when Blackberries was everything to so many people?
It was the hot thing, especially for business users.
Business people love
Blackberry was the phone.
Blackberries was it. It was the thing. I didn't have a Blackberry. I had a Palm Pre during the Blackberry days.
Yeah, I never had a Blackberry either.
No,
I was never a
my friends who are business people, they love their Blackberries.
And it was honestly, it was the keyboard of the Blackberry that people loved.
He just says Chris backing up his boy knowing good as well. He ain't talking about them burner phones. Oh gosh, you people are such a funny crew. Okay, and this year it's on TV, San Francisco Bay. Good morning, Ron and Chris. It's Rashawn. Oh my God, you are late. Oh, now see, I've had this problem with AI these days. So now Adrian has given me orders. Don't post until I filter it through him. Some of these posts that are AI, you don't know if they're AI. You think they're AI, but you may not know if they're AI.
A lot of them are nowadays.
And so there was this, I sent him before I posted it. I was like, okay, I think this is AI, but even though the thing says it's not AI, I still think it's AI. And this was the photo that was in people's stories 2 days ago regarding the snowstorm in Russia.
Yeah, it was AI. It was AI. It fooled a lot of people because it came over a lot of the wires that this was actually it. It was very big, but it was not that photo.
Yeah, not that big.
Yeah.
And so before I did not press, like forward. I said, Adrian, is this AI or not? Because it's getting harder to. But this one looked like it was extremely exaggerated. Like when you saw the buildings and then you saw the drifts over the building, I was like, this could be AI.
But here's the thing, like it's a lot of these platforms have put measures in place to let people know that things are AI. And like if you're creating AI content, you can put the label on there, but not everyone does it, so it defeats the purpose. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I know that we talked about some of this stuff before, but I'm just like going through it because there were some of you guys would bring up great points and great stuff in the chat. So I said, let me just, let's talk about it. Anyway, Photo Ken Art is in the building. He says, good morning, everyone. And Dr.
Good
Tachi
morning.
is also in the building.
Good
And
morning.
Sean says she hates the snow.
Hold on. Speaking of Dr. Tachi, hold on. Let me pull it up because I had posted it yesterday. She's got a big interview talk coming up this week. Let me see if I still have it here. Yeah, she said, heard that and Mediascope crossover. I believe they're going to be talking about Jane Kennedy's book this Friday, January 23rd at 2 p.m. Central Time. So I have it in my stories. You can go check it out on Dr. Tachi's page, and I believe it is on Indie Soup Network as well.
Okay, and I had to clean up. So there's a lot going on that you guys don't see, but I'm cleaning up some things because there was some wild person here just
in the
using
room,
the N-word and spelling it out, and there's just some people that just mean, nasty, mean people on the
they
internet.
have nothing else better to do. We ignore them. We throw them away like the trash that they are.
So look, Adrian says Ron ain't shoveling nada.
Well, listen, if he does, we want photographic proof.
Dr.
I will put it in my stories.
I loved my BlackBerry.
People who had Blackberries loved them. They would die for them, and it was hard for them to part with them and move over to a quote-unquote smartphone.
And Gwendolyn says they're not again. They're hot again. You are missing out. And Motorola,
hold on, Gwendolyn, do you have a BlackBerry again? I know you're a Samsung girl, but do you have a BlackBerry? Let us know in the comments.
I don't think she has a she's a Samsung girl.
I know. That's why I asked if she has one. She might have a BlackBerry as a side piece.
This is true. She's true. Very true. Chris says Adrian sounds like my son. And Gwendolyn says, if you have a BlackBerry, the resale market is humming. I believe Generation Z and Alpha are the top purchasers. Really?
Okay.
When did When did Blackberries become so popular again?
I think people long for a physical keyboard, especially if you didn't grow up in that era. It's intriguing to you.
Yeah, we both have our Copilot with our videos. Okay. We're caught up. We're caught up now. We're all caught up. We're all caught up. So what else is in the news, Chris? What else is in the news?
There's lots in the news.
Well, first of all, did you guys see the fool on the national stage? I'm not even going to say his name.
Yeah, but everyone's laughing. Everyone is laughing at him. One, know your country. I mean, you want to take over a country and you don't even you say it wrong over and over and over again, and then you get your press secretary to come out and say it's written. It doesn't matter how it's written. That's not what he said publicly. He kept saying Iceland. Iceland is not Greenland. They might be close, adjacent, but they're not the same country, dumbass.
Greenland is Greenland. Iceland is Iceland. And when the Danish had both countries, because Danish also had Iceland at one point, and Iceland was called. So for those that don't know the history, Iceland is green and Greenland is ice.
It's ice, yeah.
And that was to deter people from going to Iceland that were not such nice people. So when people were going to invade and they saw the maps and they saw Iceland or Greenland, and they would go to Greenland thinking Greenland was the better place.
Yeah, it's more fertile, but yeah, it's the opposite.
But Greenland is ice and Iceland is green.
Listen, the world stage is laughing, literally. And I mean, he's a joke. He rambled for over an hour at the podium, said ridiculous things, walked things back. And I mean, they're all looking at him like, we don't trust you. A lot of them have made agreements that we're not. Oh, here's the other thing, too. This was earlier this week. If I remember correctly, it was a couple European countries fed the U.S. fake intelligence to see if he would share it with Russia. He did, and now that they're all in agreement that they're no longer sharing
Yes.
secure information with the United States anymore.
But think of where we are. They shared with the president of the United States fake information,
to see if he would share it with Russia,
and he did.
and he did.
If you,
I mean, but we all knew.
No more proof that this guy is a Russian plant. You don't need much more, because he is destroying this country from the inside out. And this is all purpose. You couldn't, Adrian and I talk about this all the time. You could not write a script like this.
You can't.
And no one would believe it. No, Hollywood directors and writers would say, you know what? We can't put that in the script. It's too fake.
It's not believable. Yeah.
It's not believable.
No, we're living in that world.
We're living in the world of insanity.
Yeah. I love Gwendolyn's comment. If you haven't watched Jimmy Kimmel's monologue from last night, definitely go and watch it. It was brutal. These late night hosts are going in on him. They're going in on him.
Because Iceland better watch out. He can be subliminally say it for a reason. That's true too. But Iceland is his own country.
No, I don't think so. I think that his brain is so damaged. He thought he was saying Greenland when he was saying Iceland.
Okay, he said that he did that several times. And why is the releasing the text messages from the other world leaders?
That part. Why he's text
president.
raging in the middle at 1 o'clock in the morning, private text messages that other high officials are sending you.
Yeah. And Dr. Taki says, how about colonizers just stay in their own damn countries and stop trying to annex everything? I swear, these are some of the most restless subhumans I've ever seen.
That part, Dr. Tachi.
That part, Dr. Tachi, yes. Man, so I mean, if you have not, but if you have, I'm going to try to get it, because this was beautiful. And I won't share this whole thing, but let me see if I can find it in my histories, because, you know, gotta look for the histories. And this was profound. Let me see if I got this. It was on the mighty folks. Where are the mighty folks? The mighty mighties. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. It's on the screen for you. And this was priceless yesterday. Priceless. And you have to hear it, these pieces and snippets, and no one does it better than Meidas Touch. So we're going to just go straight to those folks, and you will see. This is probably one of the best speeches from a world leader in the gathering of all the leaders, especially those that are in NATO. And this is how it went down. Check this out. Listen to this. I think you will enjoy it.
Mark Carney just brought down the House during a powerful speech in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum. Prime Minister Carney says that Canada stands with Greenland and Denmark against the United States threats. Prime Minister Carney says that Canada stands for and respects the sovereignty of other nations across the world. And Prime Minister Carney said that a new world order has formed where the United States has now found itself isolated, but new partnerships, new relationships need to be forged as America has abandoned the rest of the world. Very powerful speech. Let me show you what went down here. Prime Minister Carney discusses how Canada stands strongly and firmly with Greenland and Denmark and will respect NATO's Article 5. So if the United States decides to go after Greenland, Canada is prepared for war against the United States. Let's play it.
On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future. Our commitment to NATO's Article 5 is unwavering. So we're working with our NATO allies, including the Nordic-Baltic Gate, to further secure the alliance's northern and western flanks, including through Canada's unprecedented investments in over-the-horizon radar, in submarines, in aircraft, and boots on the ground, boots on the ice. Canada strongly opposes tariffs over Greenland and calls for focused talks to achieve our shared objectives of security and prosperity in the Arctic. On plurilateral trade, we're championing efforts to build a bridge between the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the European Union, which would create a new trading bloc of 1.5 billion people.
Then Prime Minister Carney talks about how America's assertion of power and its claim that it's going to help the world as it is now becoming this predator state in the Western Hemisphere and throughout the world under Donald Trump is unacceptable, and Canada will stand up against Donald Trump in the United States. Play this clip.
We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false. That the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
Prime Minister Carney then goes on to talk about how the United States under Donald Trump has abandoned even the pretense of having values and principles. Let's play this clip.
Multilateral institutions on which the middle powers have relied, the WTO, the UN, the COP, the architecture, the very architecture of collective problem solving are under threat. And as a result, many countries are drawing the same conclusions, that they must develop greater strategic autonomy in energy, food, critical minerals, in finance and supply chains. And this impulse is understandable. A country that can't feed itself, fuel itself, or defend itself has few options. When the rules no longer protect you, you must protect yourself. But let's be clear-eyed about where this leads. A world of fortresses will be poorer, more fragile, and less sustainable. And there's another truth. If great powers abandon even the pretense of rules and values for the unhindered pursuit of their power and interests, the gains from transactionalism will become harder to replicate. Hegemons cannot continually monetize their relationships. Allies will diversify to hedge against uncertainty. They'll buy insurance, increase options in order to rebuild sovereignty. Sovereignty that was once grounded in rules, but will increasingly be anchored in the ability to withstand pressure.
You know what? Prime Minister Carney's speech was so impressive. I want to play the full speech for you. You want to watch the whole thing right here.
And he goes,
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, if you continue with that, I'll have the link of that. But the whole speech is on, I mean, for, again, all these people that love geopolitical, this is probably, Canada is really standing up in the moment. And this speech was so amazing. It covered so much. And it's not a long speech, but it covered so much. So I will have the link there. You can check it out on Meidas Touch. It was they just shared that this morning. It was excellent. Canada says we are not playing. Canada also this week, I do believe it was Monday, did a deal with China. So bypassing the United States. Also, they have done significant deals with Mexico and bypassing the United States. And the rest of the world is leaving America out there. And for those that are photographers and creatives, you might say, why am I sharing all this stuff? This is very important. This is going to affect all of us who are Americans. And you also saw that he tried, Kankles tried to walk back using force to go after Greenland, because what was about to happen is that the European nations met, Parliament met this week as well, and they said we will no longer treat America as a friend. We will now treat them the way they deserve to be treated, and we will not take lightly who they are and what they want to be. Paraphrasing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
And on top of that, he had to walk it back because there was also rumors that that Europe, who owns 1/3 of our debt, was going to say if he gives us these more tariffs, then we'll do nothing else but take our money, we call them T-bonds, and the treasury bonds, and we will recall them. We will take our money out of the United States, and that would have caused a world recession and some places depression, and they were going to do it. They were like, so this moron, he has no idea the whole world is coupled together. You cannot function as a main power in the world without affecting the rest of the world. And they were going to pull out their money out of the United States. And that would have made all of us jeopardize every American. Your interest rates would have gone up double, if not tripled. It would have been a catastrophe.
Well, look, the stock market wiped out billions of dollars in 2 days earlier this week.
Yeah, because
just on and it's going to continue to get worse.
Because Europe said we're not going to play soft with America any longer. And now America is going to be isolated.
Yep.
And the trade deals are already done. So guess what? All those trade deals, all those farmers, but it's still. There was a footage I wanted to share with you about there was a Somalian man in Minnesota, and they was sharing all the things that he had gone through with this ICE situation. I'm changing subject. And all the pain, all the torture, all the insults. At the end of the interview, they said, "Would you still vote for Trump?" And you know what he said? Yes. I don't know what this guy has on in their brains and how he's able to make people think right is wrong and wrong is right. Don't understand it, but it is something dark. And so many people are falling under the influence, but America we are going to be isolated. These are rough times ahead because, again, as I go back to the other subject, the trades among the nations are changing. New negotiations that are happening in Switzerland right now. It's really bad. It's really bad. America is becoming more isolated, and it will continue to be isolated, and it's going to take decades, if not a half a century, to reconcile. happening.
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, like you said, we as Americans have to be very careful. I think there's going to come a point at some point this year where Americans won't be able to travel outside the United States because other countries won't allow us in their borders because of what is going on here. And then that leads me back to this whole ICE thing. I don't know if you guys have, still paying attention to what's going on in Minnesota. This past week, I believe it was yesterday, ICE detained a 5-year-old boy after he was coming from preschool. How do you detain a 5-year-old? He's not a criminal, but what they're doing is they're using children now as bait to get detain the parents.
Cruel.
This is the Gestapo. Okay, let's
That's what it
call
is.
a spade a spade.
I see also Kimmy Kim says, "What about Nicki? What about Nicki Minaj? Ooh.
What about her?
Oh yeah, so I mean, you saw she went after Don Lemon.
Listen to me, Don came.
That was the wrong thing for her to do.
I love Don's comeback. Don't try to come for him unless he
came back with
calls
the
for you.
receipts and TMZ.
Yeah, he even had TMZ on. Yeah,
he had TMZ on, and they
needs to shut up and go sit down somewhere.
So that was entertaining this week. Trending this week was Nicki Minaj and her foolishness, and no one knows her end game. But again, there's still people following her. She only lost a small percentage of her fans.
I think like 4 million.
Yeah, but she has a lot of fans, so people are sticking with her. He says a different belief. Okay, there we go. ICE is also. Oh wow. Gwendolyn says ICE is also in the hospital rooms, and I did see something that Lisa said. I did not know this. I have to do some more homework on this. The Black Panthers are going to Minnesota.
Yeah,
you heard about
that
this,
too.
Chris?
I did hear about that. That they're going to gather together in Minnesota.
Wow, that could be dangerous, right? I don't think they'll bother them. ICE is pretty weak. When they're confronted,
they tend to run. When
they're really confronted by some folks, they walk away. They can't. When people don't know their law, when people are fighting for the rights,
Well, here's the thing. They don't know what people's rights are because they have no formal training.
No training.
Being trained for like a couple of weeks is not the same as a couple of months. A lot of these people that are ICE agents are former January 6 rioters and insurrectionists. Let's be for real. I mean, there was a woman, I believe she was a journalist. I believe she was a journalist. She tried to infiltrate ICE, and she actually did. She applied to go to ICE. She did not meet any of the requirements. She did not pass the drug test, and then she withdrew, and they still asked her to be a part of it. And I believe there was a write-up on this woman last week. Let me see if I can find the article.
Another reporter that actually went and took the. Is it the same reporter that
went in
as a recruit?
It might. There was
one reporter that went as a recruit, and they also bypassed his records and stuff. Same thing, Lisa. I apologize. Tour would be great. Lisa said something that's very interesting. I was something to think about. She said, "I hope the world forgives America once he is gone. It's too late.
It is too late. It's going to
You know why the world will not forgive America? Because America put the criminal in the White House in the first place. After you know what he did the first time he was in the White House.
Yeah.
So America put a criminal in the White House.
A convicted criminal, 34 times over. Let's make sure we say it correctly.
America put him there. So, and I always say, Trump is one thing, but America is the problem. They put him there. Part of it.
Yeah. So just to go back before we get to some of the other comments, this was in The Guardian reported. Anti-Trump U.S. reporter says she was offered a job at ICE after minimal vetting. Slate journalist Laura Jadid documented hiring process and said she got an offer despite not completing the paperwork. So they're just hiring just regular people. You don't have to fulfill the requirements. You don't have to pass the drug test or a background check. They are just hiring you.
Yeah. Quinlan said, let's go back to Dr. Tachi's statement. If you ask me, it took them too damn long to come to this realization. We've seen this before over and over, and they continue to handle him with kid gloves.
The world has seen this. This is exactly how Hitler rose to power and did what he did. It's literally the same exact path that he is taking.
I am glad that Europe is making the decision to stand firm. But again, like Dr. Tachi says, I kept saying, why won't they call out this person? And I still believe
the United States is not doing it.
The World Cup should be boycotted by the rest of the world. No one should come to America. People should leave. People should say, you know what? I'm not going to. Why do you want to come to a country that makes you feel like the enemy?
Well, here's the thing. It's not too late. I think that this probably will have. I think the World Cup will either be relocated or somewhat postponed.
Because just part of the World Cup. The other, right? Aren't there other areas that the World Cup is in as well?
There will be games played in Canada and South America as well. It's just that the U.S. is the host country. But now that Trump has put in all these visa restrictions that were just implemented on January 21st, a lot of these countries that have qualified now have saying that they have to withdraw because they can't get visas for their players to come to the country to play the games. So if that's the case, then why even have it?
Yeah. Also,
why have it here?
Kimmy says, my husband reminded me that ICE was in existence. Oh, sorry. I meant to go to Lisa. Elise says, Lisa, I think that the Prime Minister of Canada made it clear that the world will not see the U.S. the same after he leaves.
And why would you?
Yeah, I think America. This is going to take generations to resolve, and it may not ever resolve because, like I always say, every great world power falls.
Well, here's the other thing too. All the other countries around the world, they're very rich and steep in history, and they cherish and they know their history, whereas America does not know its history and has not learned from its history. So once this man leaves, the rest of the world will always remember, and they will pass down these stories from generation to generation, and that's why they will never forget. We as Americans tend to forget things that have happened to us in the past. They don't reconcile what's happened with. I mean, we still have not reconciled from slavery. We're still dealing with that. This country could be so much better off and so further along if we can reconcile with our past. Other countries have. We have not. We don't learn from our past mistakes. We just repeat them over and over again. And we repeated this mistake of hiring this jackass to put him in the White House. How do you hire a convicted felon to run a country? Yeah. A convicted felon can't even get a job at McDonald's.
Not just a convicted criminal, an uneducated.
If you or I were convicted of a criminal, we couldn't get a job at McDonald's. But yet still he can hold the highest office in the land. Make that make sense.
The country is going to have a hard look at itself. But the sad thing is, there's probably 70 million people in this country that still love him. Regardless, they don't care. Because when you look at the numbers, and when they do the survey, it is the numbers last week, the polls. Still, there's 40% of Americans that love what he's doing. 40% of Americans love ICE. 40% of America is okay.
Until they get dragged out their house, dragged out their cars.
The problem is the American people that put him there, and the rest of the world will never forgive Americans for what they did to the world order.
Yeah.
But I think it works out for the best. Because for the first, I know people on the line saying, oh, NATO's going to end. People are going to end. NATO's going to. No. By kicking the U.S. out of NATO, because eventually, if they have to do it, they will do it. It will strengthen NATO. It will have one less country in it, but I think NATO will be strong. Europe is getting stronger because of Trump. So because of his foolishness, they realize
So is
they
China.
can't rely on America again. They cannot put their eggs in the baskets of the Americans. They're done. The Europeans are going to move on, and guess who? And with strangeness, they are aligning with China. America is finally, and I want to say I'm rooting for this, but we have known, those that study political science and know history, we realize for many years that this day was coming.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be a superpower and continue to do harm to other countries, manipulate other
own.
people's elections, get in people's way, do the bad things, and then the very foundation of the country, all the blood that was shed, all the people that they stolen from, all of the, I mean, it's just, it cannot, when you build a house on sinking sand, it's going to sink. And America is not built on a solid foundation. Just saying. My opinion.
All right.
Okay, I see more stuff in here. Okay, I think that's it, Chris. It's 12:09. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. But I think we covered enough trend stuff this week. But guys, keep an eye. Don't put your heads in the sand and don't think that this does not have an effect on you and your everyday. Loans are going to go up. Credit cards are going to change. Everything about how we live in America is going to be different. And for those that don't know, if Trump decides to do the Greenland or go into Greenland or wherever, they already got troops on the ground, and the Europeans are already sending their troops into Greenland. I mean, who ever thought the Third World War would be because of America in Greenland? But on top of that, like Lawrence O'Donnell, if you want to also get some more information on what's happening around the world, check out Lawrence O'Donnell yesterday on MS Now. Check that out regarding the top shipping companies in the world are European. The top 3. Also, Denmark is one of the largest facilities for creating insulin and medicines for America.
Yep.
So if you think this is not going to affect you, think about all those people in America that have diabetes, which America has the most diabetes than any other country in the world. And that insulin is produced where?
We're the fattest country.
Denmark.
Yeah.
So if you think this is not going to affect the way you live in America, you are mistaken. What happens in this stupid fool's mind of Greenland? And then had the nerve to joke, oh, I was going to call the Gulf of America the Gulf of Trump. He's an idiot. He has lost his mind. This man he's insane. But if you don't think this is not going to, if you think this is not going to affect you, you are up for a rude awakening. Travel, everything.
It's already affecting you. When you go to the groceries and you look in your basket and like wonder where the money went, it's because of him.
Lee says,
stay safe this weekend, people.
Yeah, Lee says, might read that a bank near us told someone that in order to cash a check, they needed to show their passport and would not accept their license as an ID. What the? It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy in these streets.
What if you don't have a passport?
Kimmy says, I love the hope in your last comment, Ron. I think we can do, look, I just think you have to be aware. You have to be aware what's going on. You have to know what's happening. You got to be engaged. I have friends that don't know what's going on from day to day. They don't look at the news. They don't do this. You got to look at the news. You have to follow. At least I know it's overwhelming, but you still need to know. Okay, let me go to these banners real quick. Make sure if you want to, you can join the YouTube community right here, Ron Lewis Photos. You can place photography there. I see a little more engagements going on in our community on YouTube. And so that's really good to see. You are more than welcome to post and share. Also, again, join the email list. Just go to ronlewisphotos.com. Click on that. Also, if you're looking for an event photographer, that is what I do, event photography. Check me out. Give me a call. Give me a text. Also, thank you to the Patreon members that are in this community that support and make this happen. We appreciate you. Your support helps us create amazing content. And also, last but not least, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed and you're here for the first time. And this is what we do here. Today was our TrendWatch Thursday. Tomorrow is our Focus Friday. Let me see. It's time to speak truth here in America and do the work. Democracy, where is it? Okay, so, okay, guys, let me pop this on. Sorry, I got this on the screen too long. Boop, 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 boop. Chris, any last words, sir?
No, just stay safe out there this weekend. I know we'll be on tomorrow, but get prepared. If you need to get groceries or supplies, get them today. Don't wait for the weekend because everyone's going to do that rush on, the staple items, bread, milk. If you need a shovel, get them today.
And I'll have all of the links to what we talked about today. Lawrence O'Donnell, or we will have the speech, the Meidas Touch. All those will be on the links. So make sure you check that out. You'll be able to get that information if you want to go dive deeper into the topics we talked about today. I see you, Rashawn. She says, have a great day, everyone. And so there we have it. Good job. Good job. Okay, guys, have a great day. And we love ya. See you tomorrow.